What's up, guys? It's Alex here, back with another episode of AB Strength Training Show. And I think I'm going to stop introing this show because it probably makes more sense to cut to the chase instead of just introing it every single time. Now, I have a set schedule now for this show, and I'm going to be uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the reason why I picked those days and why I do not choose to go daily is because I don't want it to get into a situation where I'm basically trying to scramble around for ideas and failing to come up with an idea for the video. That way, when I do it every other day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I can come up with new ideas, and on top of that, I can make ideas for future videos, and so I won't be in this mess where it's like I don't know what to talk about. Anyways, today's topic is going to be covering the Golden Six. You heard that right, the Golden Six exercises for strength gains. And I guess this is more so called the Golden Six movement patterns for strength training, but I I'm just going to call it the Golden Six exercises just so people don't get confused. But in reality, it's really just the the Golden Six movement patterns. Just as long as you have an exercise that fulfills that movement pattern, then you're basically good. And I mean, there are certain exercises that work effectively better than others that involve the same movement pattern, but this is just going to be a very generalized informational video. So, if you know about the Golden Five exercises for strength training, you know that they are the bench press, the squat, the deadlift, the overhead press, and the row. And the Golden Five is a good is a good way to follow some of the exercises if you only have a barbell that you can use. If you have other equipment, then you can do the Golden Six and you can actually vary the exercises that you do. So the one similarity, the one thing that is not going to change from the Golden Five to the Golden Six, or actually two changes, or the two things that aren't going to change, is that you're going to be squatting and you're going to be deadlifting with a barbell. That's not changing because those are the two best exercises you can do for your body, and they're not changing. The squat does excellent quad building, and then the deadlift does well with building your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back. So those two things aren't going to change. When it comes to the variation of the two, any sort of back squat will do, and it doesn't matter if it's high bar or low bar, just some sort of back squat. And when it comes to the deadlift, it really depends on your goal and your anthropometry. If you're trying to strength train and you're playing a different sport that is not involved with lifting or bodybuilding or anything, then you will do a trap bar deadlift. If you want to build muscle or you want to build strength, then either do sumo or conventional. Doesn't really matter. I personally do conventional because that's the movement that I feel more comfortable doing, and in my opinion, it's an easier exercise to execute than the sumo deadlift. Some people might be different, but that's just for me. So squat and deadlift, the two keepers. Now, this is when things start getting more generalized. And so I'm not going to have you do the barbell bench press. Although it would be a good exercise to do, I'm not going to make you do it. What I'm going to have you do is perform a horizontal push. That is a movement pattern. That is not an exercise. So that can be anything. That can be the bench press. That can be with a barbell. That can be a dumbbell bench press. And that can also be an incline dumbbell bench press. Although, if you're doing incline, then you're going to be using a lighter weight because you're more on an incline. And so I would suggest using one of those exercises as your horizontal push, and that'll fulfill that strength training requirement. The second exercise that is not the squat and the deadlift is the horizontal pull, and that is any kind of rowing motion. So you can either do a dumbbell row, or you can do a machine row, or you can do the barbell row, the classic barbell row that they suggest you do when you're doing the Golden 5. But any type of horizontal row where your body is perpendicular to the load, where your torso is perpendicular to the load, then that should be fine. When it comes to the next exercise, it is the vertical push, and that will include the overhead press and any other sort of overhead movement that you use, either a barbell or dumbbells. Although I don't suggest you do behind the neck, just because anatomy, or your anatomy is not built to do that. But do some sort of overhead movement that can help you build your shoulders. Finally, this is the exercise that I'm adding, and it is the vertical pull. Now, why do I suggest you do the vertical pull? I suggest you do the vertical pull because you're already doing all these other exercises, but you need something that you can pull vertically. And guess what one of those exercises is? The pull-up, one of the greatest back-building exercises. The Golden 5 doesn't cover the pull-up. Now, obviously, if you can't do a pull-up, then you're going to be doing like a lat pull-down or an assisted pull-up. But if you can do the pull-ups, just frickin' do them. That's all I ask. Now, why these Golden 5 movements or Golden 6? Why can't I just use a bunch of machines? Why can't I do that? That'll be a topic for a later video.